In today's lesson, we'll be discussing rhythm guitar styles. So, there are so many guitar players that have unique, I guess I'm going to call them traits to their playing. They've developed their own style and make chords sound a certain way. So you think of, right? So you think, when you think of Pete Townsend, sometimes it's more about like a sus chord, Jimi Hendrix, 7#9 chord, or different moves. For example, if you watched our Hendrix rhythm guitar lesson, we talked about Jimi using, if there's a 5th string major chord, he hammers on the D major pentatonic scale, right? So he's got the major chord, he's hammering on from the 2nd to the 3rd, from the 5th to the 6th, and from the root to the 9th. And then on the 5th string minor chord, he's hammering on the notes of the minor pentatonic. On the 6th string major chord, he's hammering on the 9, the 6, and the 4. And on the 6th string minor chord, minor pentatonic. So if you watch our Hendrix lesson, you'll get all that stuff in depth. One thing that we did not talk about is Jimi had this cool way of, he had a sus 2 chord or whatever, add 9, whatever you want to call it, no third in it. Like in Castles Made of Sand. So all you're hitting the root with your thumb. My hand's not big enough to catch it all the time. So your thumb's hitting the root, and then there's an octave of that, and then there's the 5th, and there's the 9 on top. Very cool sounding chord. Eric Johnson uses this a lot also, which he got from Jimi. And so that's the Hendrix lesson there. If you get a chance, look back at the old one. Let's talk about Andy Summers from the Police. Andy was an incredible guitar player, had his own rhythm style. Loved these different version of a add 9 chord. So it's root, 5, 9. Oops. Gave him his own style. He would be able to take common progressions and make them sound totally fresh just by using these type of chords. For example, this progression here is old school, 1, 6, 4, 5. Just call them the soda shop changes. What did he do? He added a 9th to it. Those chords now sound very cool compared to the same old, where you think it's just another old school progression coming at you. Andy Summers, very innovative, a lot of like 11th chords and open sounding chords. Great player, real jazzy guy, and once he got together with the Police, it totally changed their sound. They went from a punk band to a 3-piece rock band that was pretty progressive. Another great player was Steve Cropper, who is the main guitar player for Stax Records. So he played on amazing songs like Soul Man and Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Great at taking a regular chord, and instead of playing the full chord to make a melody, he plays 6. So in this case, right, if you're playing an E chord, you're going to grab the 5th of the chord and the 6. Just a very cool sound, which gives you a new dynamic. So, for example, the bridge on Dock of the Bay, where it goes, he does. He's just playing 6 on there. It just gives it a much more distinctive sound. He uses a lot of 4. Steve Cropper, if you get a chance, look him up. Incredible player. Again, take the time to make your own style. If there's certain moves that you like, you can borrow some ideas and kind of expand on them. That's the whole idea. There's certain chords a lot of guys used that they became synonymous with, certain voicings. So again, take the time, have some fun with it, and we'll see you next time in Music 301. Don't